Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praises, honors, and glories unto Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rahakwadash. Double honors to my apostles and elders of every millstone. They're doing their well. Peace and blessings be unto the elect. This is Brother Dawadah from GMS Detroit Camp. Coming at you with another video through the spirit and power of Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rahakwadash. Today I want to do another dream, vision, if you will, that literally just happened. Ran outside and went to the car so I can speak freely because I have people in the house. But Lord's will, this will be edifying. Definitely is a mighty dream. Heart still beating a little fast. Lord's will, this is edifying. It's spiritual too because just last Saturday I was with the brothers fellowshipping, and I had a dream a week and a half ago about spiritual power, and I was joking with one of the brothers, and I'm like, man, brother, I had a dream, but and then the elder brother should come. He said, man, brother, you don't share your dreams no more. But I haven't had one that was, in a while, that was, prophetic and heavy. I said, well, I didn't share this one because it wasn't really a heavy dream. It was, not much really happened, And, I said that. And then that was Saturday. Today is Wednesday. So it's Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. That's literally 4 days later, and I had this heavy dream in the spirit, And basically, this is what happened. The dream starts off where I'm in front of my mother's house. And, actually, no. It was really 3 dreams wrapped in one. The first dream, I was like on the computer, and Cat Williams was on the screen, and there was like a voice or some type of voice or something like that. And basically, within the dream, there was a voice that was kind of like narrating, if you will. And Cat Williams was on stage. It looked like he was getting some type of award. And what was said was that, that this guy sold out, and that there's how do you say it? That Cat Williams sold out, and that he's part of some group that are into pretty much into witchcraft, and that they give these different new prospects about 4 to 6 months to get into their secret society, and they send material out. Right? They send material out to this new prospect, this new person that they want to join their secret society. And then basically after that time period, they'll reach out to the person and pretty much ask if they're interested in joining their secret society. And Cat Williams joined within 1 to 2 months. So he didn't beat the other people out, He didn't beat the other people out, which, a lot of people look at Cat Williams like he's some guru, like he's some righteous individual. But that guy definitely sold out, You don't get to speak against the industry if you're not part of the industry, all right? If you are on the main screen, you have a big platform, you don't get to speak against these international bankers. You're on TV, you're on television, you're going to award show. No, that guy definitely sold out. But anyways, what was said within the dream was that, he was receiving some type of reward on stage. He said, look, and the voice said, like, this guy, that he sold out and he's part of a secret society, and that they give the person 4 to 6 months worth of material. They give them time, and then at the end of that time period, they'll, pretty much check in on them and ask if they want to join. And that this guy joined within about 1 to 2 months. And then it showed this, it was weird, it cut to like this picture of a bunch of people within the White House, and they had like the American flag literally over their heads, and it covered their entire bodies. It was creepy as hell, you know. A bunch of people. It looked like they were in the White House, with a bunch of American flags over their heads, you know. And um, it was weird. It was like I was in my mom's living room for this part of the dream. You know, I think I said the computer at first, but now I'm thinking about it. It was kind of like I was in the living room watching this on TV and hearing like what the voice was saying about this. And my sister was next to me, and in the dining room, my brother, you know, he was, you know, listening and watching, which he's into. He's into folly. Definitely, he's into folly. He believes in like Africanism and what do you call it? Traditionalism and all that witchcraft nonsense. He was, you know, he turned his head over his left shoulder, trying to listen to the shit that was going on. I guess that interested him because they were talking about that left hand bullshit. Then the dream cut and switched. Now, the next part of the dream, I'm in front of my mom's house, and there's an individual, a tall individual in a black suit, and it's Jacob Rothchild. Jacob Rothchild was in front of my mom's house, and he's sizing me up, and I'm sizing him up, and I had the most angry expression on my face, and I was cussing his ass out. I was literally cussing his ass out, straight up, you know, pretty much like, look, you don't get judged, you know, this and the third, you know. I don't remember everything that was said, but I was cussing his ass all the way out, cursing his ass out, you know, like you gonna get judged, you know, this and the third gonna happen to you, and pretty much, you know, he's just looking at me, but he couldn't touch me. He couldn't touch me, and he did not look happy, you know. So I'm in front of my mom's house cursing his ass out, cursing his ass out, cursing his ass out. And then I ended up going inside, and they issued out some type of curfew. You know, it was like some type of curfew where you can't be outside, you know. So cussed Jacob Rothschild out, went inside, and there was like, if I'm not mistaken, it was like a few military men that was patrolling the streets. And then the dream cut again. The dream cut to, I'm in my car. The brother Yashar from the Great Millstone Detroit camp, he's in his car. He pulled up next to me. It's like we're in like a parking lot, if you will, you know. So I'm there in my car. Yashar pulled up next to me, and the brother Nabala from the Great Millstone Detroit camp pulls up. And me and Yashar, we look troubled. Like we look like, yo, what the heck is happening? Like we're digesting a lot of information. And Nabala, the brother, he pulls up, he's smiling. You know, he like, yo, man, what's up, yo? So he pulled up, and the song that was playing was "You're in trouble, you're in trouble, you're in trouble, you're in trouble," and it kept repeating. So the brother Nabala pulled up, he's in good spirits, and he like, yo, man, what's going on? What's happening? Because basically all hell was breaking loose. We was in JT. And then he pulled up with that song, and I looked at the brother Yashar. I said, bro, you can't make this up. You know, I said, you can't make this up. Did you hear this? You hear the song that he pulled up with? You know, and me and the brother Yashar, we had this somber, serious, like, look, like, yo, this is really happening. And so the scene cut, and it's the three of us. We're in like this little circle. We seated in this like secluded parking lot, by the way. It's just us three. And Yashar, he started speaking first. He said, yo, y'all, I had this dream. I think he either said dream or that he actually experienced it. But he said, yo, yo, man, I was cussing out Jacob Rothchild. I was cussing his ass out, and he smacked me. He smacked me. You know, that's what the brother Yashar is saying. He's like, yeah, I was cussing out Jacob Rothchild. Jacob Rothchild, he smacked me, bro. You know? And the baller just listening. He's like, wow, you know, he's listening, he's digesting information. And in the dream, I was excited because I wanted to tell the brother, yo, bro, same thing happened to me. I was talking to this guy. You know? So, the brother in the baller was about to say something. And I cut him off. I said, bro, hold on. Let me get this in here real quick. Because if I don't, I'm going to forget. And I said, yo, bro, I literally just experienced the same thing. I was cussing out Jacob Rothchild, and this devil smacked me. You know? And that's what I said in the dream. But in the first, or in the second part of the dream, when Jacob Rothchild was in front of my house, I don't remember him smacking me. But in this next like part of the dream, I said like, yeah, man, Jacob Rothchild, he was in front of my house. I was cussing him out, and he smacked me. You know, I was saying that within the dream, and it was just the three of us. We were like in a circle, because it was almost as if we linked up, because it was Jacob's trouble, and Lord just had it to where we all linked up. But anyways, that was the end of the dream. You know, and that was the end of the dream. And I had to run outside and do this lesson. So Salaki, if I sound a little groggy, you know, yeah, that was the end of the dream. This devil, Jacob Rothchild, that fucking devil. I just want to look up. Yeah, that's him. I just looked up his face. Yeah, that was him. In that same fucking black suit. You know? That fucking devil. Oh, I was cussing his ass out. It's like I was cursing his ass out to his face. You know? I just wish I remembered exactly what I was saying. But I know I was cussing him out. You know? And it wasn't no F-U and all that. No, it was like scripturally cussing him out. You know? Look, the Lord gonna kill you, gonna judge you. You know, like that kind of thing. You know? I was scripturally cursing his ass out. You know? And again, he couldn't touch me. He couldn't touch me. So let me grab some scriptures and we'll go from there. The Apple guy, Tim Cook. It's not him. It's not Jeff Bezos. No, this is the international bakers. They have more than heart could wish, pursuant to Psalm 73. All right. 20. And there was a certain beggar, that's the Israelites, named Lazarus. Lazarus meaning Yahweh helps, or God helps. All right. I believe it's Izar Allah. Izar meaning to help, Allah meaning God. God helps. Which was laid at his gate full of sores. His gate is America. Full of sores, meaning full of curses. Full of the curses. Isaiah, the first chapter, comes to mind. Deuteronomy 28 comes to mind. All right? And desiring to be fed with the crumbs that fell from the rich man's table. Right? Because Jake want to make it. You know, Jake wants the comfort and the blessings that come, you know, that can come in this world. All right? That's why Jake sells out. That's why Jake takes the bag. That's why Jake joins these secret societies, because they want some of those crumbs. They want to make it. All right? Moreover, and that's all Jake gets is crumbs. No matter how high up you get, they're getting crumbs compared to these international bankers. They're multi-trillionaires. All right? They got more than heart could wish. Imagine having everything that you could possibly desire and then some. That's what they have. Moreover, the dogs, that's the other nations, came and licked their sores. Yeah, the little that Jake brings in, these other nations take out by way of their different, stores and shops and businesses that they set up around Jake. All right, like Ishmael, he has his gas stations. Moab has their beauty supplies. All right, Ishmael also has the fish and chicken spots. All right, Moab has their Chinese restaurants. All right, and it's usually all throughout Jake communities. All right, and Jake don't live in the best parts. Jake lives within the ghetto, surrounded within the ghetto. These different businesses where these nations, have set up shop. And they take in the little bit of money that Jake brings home. That's what that means. 21. Slakia, verse 22. And it came to pass that the beggar died and was carried by the angels into Abraham's bosom. That's a dark saying. All right. The beggar died and was carried by the angels into Lazarus' bosom. Lazarus' bosom represents the chariots. All right. So this is another way of saying that the system ended. America fell. All right. Yahushua came back with the angels, and Lazarus got beamed up into the ship. The rich man also died and was buried. Doesn't mean that he literally died. What died was his system, his empire, his rulership, his kingdom. That died. Now I was going to get into the end game. 23. And in hell, now it doesn't mean that he was in literal hell. It means that he was in a hellish state. He was catching hell. All right? This is going to be in the kingdom of heaven. He's going to be catching brutal hell, especially these international bankers. All right? Especially them. Which is spiritual too, because just last night I was doing dishes and I can't remember what I had playing. I had something playing. And I was thinking about something. And I was pissed. And I said, ooh, when I get these devils, ooh, oh, I can't wait. I'm going to see them in the kingdom. I can't wait. And then I had this dream just the next day. But they're going to be in hell. It says, being in torment and seeth Abraham afar off and Lazarus in his bosom. This is basically Jake in the kingdom. And Esau's in slavery, catching brutal hell. And he cried and said, Father Abraham, have mercy on me, and send Lazarus that he may dip the tip of his finger in water and cool my tongue, for I am tormented in this flame. That's a dark saying. That's a metaphor. All right. In other words, he wants some type of mercy to be shown him, because he's catching all this hell within his slavery. But Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things. Right. These international bankers, they're living great. There's a saying, a guy saw the guy saw a huge estate. He was traveling with somebody. He saw this huge estate, and he said, yo, what king? They didn't say yo, but he said, hey, what king lives here? And the guy that he was traveling with said, oh no, kings couldn't afford to live like this. This is a house of a Rothchild. All right, so they live in better than kings. That Apostle Bar brings it out. That song, If I Were a Rich Man, originally it was If I Were a Rothchild. All right. Some individuals definitely reached out to them to change that song. These Rothschilds, they don't want to be on the forefront. They don't want to be on the main screen. They want to control everything from the shadows. And the scripture says, woe unto you that seek deep to hide your counsel. All right. So it says, and Abraham said, Son, remember that thou in thy lifetime receivest thy good things, and likewise Lazarus evil things. Yeah, we were cursed. We were catching hell. But now he is comforted. That's going to be in the kingdom, pursuant to Jeremiah the 30th chapter. All right. Jacob shall be in rest, and shall be quiet, and none shall make him afraid. All right. I'll bring again I'll restore Jacob's tents. Jeremiah 30 goes into that. And thou art tormented. Tormented where? Within your slavery, within your captivity. Which these devils, beginning with the Rothschild, beginning with the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, which the Rockefellers are Rothschilds that came to America, changed their last name. All right, the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, the DuPonts, the Gettys, all these different banking families. All right, all these different rich banking families. You're going headfirst into captivity, flat out. All right, and beside all this, between us and you, there is a great gulf fixed, so that they which would pass from hence to you cannot, neither can they pass to us that would come from thence. So Edomite can't be a Jake, and a Jake cannot be an Edomite. Then he said, I pray thee, therefore, Father, that thou wouldest send him to my father's house. For I have 5 brethren. Now, Meyer Emshel Bauer, all right, the forefather of the Rothschilds, he had 5 sons. All right. It says, for I have 5 brethren, right? And when you look up this word brethren here, it also goes into 5 people of your kindred. All right. In fact, I've done it before, but I'll do it again. Luke 16. Because there's no coincidence that it said 5 brethren. And Meyer Emshel Bauer had 5 sons, which those 5 sons built the Rothschild dynasty. All right. So you go into this word, brethren. It's adelphos, which means a brother, whether born of the same 2 parents or only of the same father or mother, having the same national ancestor, belonging to the same people, or countrymen. All right? So he had 5 people of his countrymen, 5 people of his family, 5 men of his family. All right? Meyer Emshel Bauer had 5 sons. Those 5 sons, he gave instructions on where to go, all right, and instructions on how to build their empire. All right? There's no coincidence here. All right? Meyer Emshel Bauer had 5 sons. All right? For I have 5 brethren, that he may testify unto them, lest they also come into this place of torment. They gonna come there. They will be in slavery. They will be in captivity. Abraham said unto them, they have Moses and the prophets, let them hear them. Which they don't want to hear us. And he said, nay, Father Abraham, but if one went unto them from the dead, they will repent. And he said unto them, if they hear not Moses and the prophets, neither will they be persuaded, though one rose from the dead. Right. And they know, they got the records. Yahushua rose from the dead. They still don't, they think they can fight against him when he comes back. You know? So ain't no mercy going to be shown to these damn devils. All right? And they will go to that place of torments. Y'all got brutal hell coming to y'all. All right, you damn international bankers. All right? So in a nutshell, I believe that these 3 dreams pretty much going into the same thing. People who really rule the society, control your celebrities, all right? At the top of the totem pole are the international bankers, all right? And the most notable being the damn Rothschild family, all right? Then the dream cut to the next part where I'm cursing out Jacob Rothschild. He was in one of those fucking suits. Fucking devil. He did not look happy, and I was cursing his ass out scripturally. I want to emphasize that. All right? Then that reminds me of Isaiah 13 and verse 1. It says, the burden of Babylon, which Isaiah the son of Amos did see, lift ye up a banner upon the high mountain. The banner is the Bible, the high mountain. We're lifting up the banner upon the high mountain, which again, the banner is the Bible. All right? Exalt the voice unto them. When you exalt the voice unto someone, you raise your voice. And shake the hand. When you exalt your voice, you shake your hand, you're telling somebody off. You're cussing them out. That they may go into the gates of the nobles. All right? Meaning that eventually they go, look, these big wigs, they going to do something about us. They taking notice of us. You know? And certain of us are going to be brought before different, like Yahushua said, we're going to be brought before different kings and rulers and judges. You know? And we're gonna be cussing them out scripturally. They did not, the Apostle Paul, when he was brought before Felix, did he not go into the scriptures and speak about judgments to come? Let's grab that. This is Acts 24 and try it this way. No, it's in Acts. Yeah, Acts 24 and 25. And as he's the Apostle Paul, reasoned of righteousness, temperance, and judgment to come, Felix trembled and answered, Go thy way for this time. When I have a convenient season, I will call for thee. So Apostle Paul was going into the scriptures, and he even went to judgment to come. Probably went into the destruction, the nations being enslaved, all right? All right, the nations being in captivity, all right? He was going into it, And this devil, he got scared, So I say that to say, if we be part of the Lord's true elect, the Lord's going to allow certain of us to be before these different rulers. Lord may even have it to where we're in front of a Rothchild, all right, or a Rockefeller, or a DuPont, or a Getty, all right, or these other different banking families, and we're cussing them out. Yahweh said, don't meditate upon what ye shall say, all right? The Lord's going to put whatever he wants us to say within our mouths at that time, all right? And it's going to be fire, because the spirit of Yahweh Baal Shem Yahushua is going to be upon us. And his word is fire, That devil, he was pissed. He did not look happy. I was cussing his ass out, And then they imposed pretty much martial law. It was Jacob's trouble. And I couldn't get out. I couldn't leave the house. And it's also spiritual that I was at my mother's house. Right? Because this knowledge, this truth, is referred to as our mother's house. Wisdom is likened unto a feminine spirit. Let's go to Song of Solomon 8 and 1. Oh, that thou wert as my brother. Meaning, oh, that thou wert a brother in the faith, that sucked the breasts of my mother. The breasts of my mother, meaning the scriptures, pursuant to the book of Peter. The desire the sincere milk of the word. All right? When I shall find thee if I shall find you without this knowledge, without this truth, I will kiss thee, meaning I will tell you the truth. I will give you this understanding. Yea, I should not be despised. I would lead thee and bring thee into my mother's house. That's this knowledge, that's this truth. Who would instruct me? Yeah, because this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding is what instructs us. Pursuant to the book of Proverbs, the first chapter. All right? It teaches the simple, how to be subtle, so on and so forth. All right? I will and bring thee into my mother's house, and will cause thee to drink of spiced wine of the juice of my pomegranate. That's all the dark saying for this knowledge, this truth. All right? This knowledge, this truth. All right? So, I found that to be spiritual. All right? And then pretty much, it was Jacob's trouble. All right? All hell broke loose. And basically, they had like these military men patrolling the streets, couldn't leave the house. Then the dream cut to where I'm with brothers, and we had a serious look like, yo, this is happening. I'm in my car, Brother Yashar's in his car, Brother Nabala's in his car, and he pulls up, like, yo, yeah, like, what's up, y'all? Yeah, this is happening, And, we were just talking amongst ourselves about, what we experienced. And again, I don't know if the brother and I said that this, that we met Jacob Rothchild within a dream, or that, like we literally met him. All right. And I'm more so leaning to, like we literally met this guy. Like this guy was literally before us. And that brother, he said he cussed him out and he got smacked. And, I told the brothers, like, yeah, I cussed his ass out too. You know? So, we look, and like, this is all of Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. You know? It's literally all of the Lord. Eventually, this thing is going to happen. Eventually, this is going to happen. All right? To where all hell breaks loose. It's going to be time for us to get up out of here. I was meditating upon that last night when I was, cleaning and doing some dishes. I said, man, eventually this thing going to happen. In other words, like the end is going to happen. This shit really going to pop off. So, with that, I'm going to leave it there. Lord's will, this is edifying to the elect. All praises, honors, and glories be to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahweh Shai. Double honors to my apostles and elders, very millstone. Peace and blessings be unto the elect. Shalom.